B Marsh, this is my breakdown prediction for this unification clash we got coming up this weekend between WBC lightweight champion of the world, Mikey Garcia, versus IBF champion of the world at lightweight, Mr. Robert Easter Jr. from Toledo, Ohio. I'm looking forward to this fight, unification fight. I love unifications. That's what it's all about, in my opinion. I think fighters should be trying to be involved in unification fights, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we need one champion, you know what I mean? Like Deontay Wilder says. Anthony Joshua don't be saying that, but Wilder always reiterating one name, one face, one champion. And that's what I like about unifications, you know what I mean? Trying to basically get rid of everybody who's a loose end, get them out the way so we could have one champion, you know what I mean? So let's get into it, man. What's his name? Mikey Garcia is definitely the taller fighter. I'm sorry, Robert Easter is definitely the taller fighter, man. Let me look at the dimensions right quick. Sorry about that. I should have done this before I did my prediction. You know what I mean? But I'm kind of know. I know the man's giving up probably like 8 inches of reach, 6 to 8 inches for the man Mikey Garcia. You know what I mean? So will that be a problem for the man? Uh, Mikey Garcia dealing with the long height, the height and the reach of the man, Robert Easter. Well, we'll find out this weekend. You know what I mean? Let me let you know these dimensions real quick, man. Like I said, I should have done this before, man, but I'm doing this off the cuff. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so this guy's 5'11" with a 76-inch reach. Robert Easter is 5'11", 76-inch reach. And I know Mikey's about 5'6", 5'6", 68. See, that's a big difference right there as far as the reach, you know what I mean? Um, but it won't matter. 76, 68 doesn't matter. Robert Easter doesn't use his height, you know what I'm saying? He don't use his length and reach. You know, I've seen the man Robert Easter, to be honest, ever since he's been a champion, he's had a shaky run as a world champion. You know, I mean, the last impressive fight he had was the one I was live at the DC Armory when he sparked out Argenis Mendes with that beautiful right hand on the ropes, stopped him in the fifth round. You know what I mean? That fight that he had versus Richard Comey, I had Comey winning that fight. He got the split decision victory. You know what I mean? He fought some guy by the name of Luis Cruz. I remember that fight. He dropped him a few times. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not too familiar with that guy. The man, Dennis Shafikov, Robert Easter struggled with Dennis Shafikov. I had that fight a draw. You know what I mean? I don't know how two judges had that fight 12 rounds to zero in favor of the man, Robert Easter. That's some bullshit, man. That was some BS. Shafikov at least had a claim on winning that fight, even though I had it a draw. Then there was a split decision victory for the man Robert Easter versus Javier Fortuna. I think I might have had Fortuna edging that fight, or I probably had it a draw. You know what I mean? Fortuna did come in a little overweight. He didn't make weight, and he got a point deducted for holding. You know what I'm saying? But that was probably the difference why he didn't win the fight. But Mikey Garcia, he himself been looking impressive ever since he's been back in the game. He hasn't struggled one bit. 38 and 0, 30 KOs. You know what I mean? He ain't knocked out nobody in his last two fights. You check it. But he fought Adrian Broner, beat Adrian Broner pretty decisively. He beat Sergey Limpinis pretty decisively. These are guys who are in higher weight classes than him, you know what I mean? So I think that the man Robert Easter got his hands full fucking with the man Mikey Garcia, who is in my opinion, is a textbook boxer, you know what I mean? He's a kind of guy who does everything by the book. He's not the quickest in hand speed and foot speed, but has a beautiful 1-2, fights well behind the jab, is great with timing, can fight going backwards, you know what I mean? Can fight bringing the pressure, coming forward like he did against Broner, you know what I'm saying? And he could also fight going backwards for the type of pressure that Dejan Zlatikin, and whatever y'all call him, put on the man the kind of pressure that he put on the man, Mikey Garcia. But Mikey was going backwards, counter punching, and eventually he put his cut his lights out, put him to sleep. You know what I mean? So my keys to victory for Robert Easter would to be use his reach, use his height. You know what I mean? Box from the outside. You know what I'm saying? Keep pumping that jab. You know what I mean? Put that as a pest, as a deterrent into the man, Mikey Garcia. You know what I mean? Just keep pumping that jab. Follow up by the right hand. You know what I'm saying? Going to the body might be risky. You know what I mean? Fighting with a shorter fighter, he could get countered at the top of the head. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Mikey Garcia is very good at. His counter punching ability and just being patient in the pocket and just being accurate with his punches. You know what I mean? He got a nice check left hook. Ask Dejan Zlat, not Dejan Zlatican, Sergey Limpinets about it. You know what I mean? But I think that the man Robert Easter, he's gonna have to put the pressure on the guy Mikey. You know what I mean? But not give Mikey Garcia any position to sit on his punches. You know what I'm saying? Mikey Robert Easter's gonna probably have to be the aggressor and the volume puncher in this fight. You know what I mean? That's the only way I think he could win this fight because if he wants to go to a straight up chess match, tactical boxing match with the man Mikey, he's gonna get his ears boxed off. You know what I mean? So I think Mikey Garcia will win this fight. I just think he has all the tools, the tricks to the trade. You know what I mean? He's a better fighter in my opinion than Robert Easter. Robert Easter might be struggling to make weight. Watch him say that, use that as an excuse when the fight's over. I hope he doesn't, you know what I mean? But I believe, man, he might get stopped in this fight, Robert Easter. It could go to the distance, but I believe is um, a late stoppage is imminent to happen if the man I'm sorry, Robert Easter fights this guy the way he been fighting guys like Shafikov. Shafikov was 5'5". You know what I'm saying? There's by no means no way that a guy like Shafikov should even begin on the inside on a guy like Robert Easter. Robert Easter doesn't use his tools effectively. Kind of reminds me of Paul Williams to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But I think that Mikey Garcia is a better fighter. He's probably going to go to the body. You know what I'm saying? Going to make the man try to drop his guard. You know what I'm saying? And he might get caught with a counter left hook. You know what I'm saying? Or straight right hands to the top. You know what I mean? Robert Easter, he could probably throw a nice overhand right over the top, something that Mikey doesn't see. Because to my opinion, that's his only chance. Catching Mikey with something that Mikey doesn't see. And those are shots that definitely hurt opponents. And that's what Robert Easter's going to have to. I hope that's what he's been working on with his new trainer, Kevin Cunningham from St. Louis. You know what I mean? But I think that the man Mikey Garcia is going to win this fight. I got this fight in victory of Mikey Garcia. Probably, it's probably going to go to the distance, but I wouldn't be surprised at a stoppage. I probably got this a wide, probably 8-4 type of fight for Mikey Garcia. Maybe 7-5, but he will clearly win this fight in this unification and become the first unified champ at lightweight since Juan Baby Bull Diaz, all right? When Juan Baby Bull Diaz beat Julio Diaz. Be March Boxing, leave your thoughts and comments. Let me know who y'all think gonna win this fight. I see somebody in the chat before I'm out of here. Setshot, what's happening, man? Setshot says, we're all waiting for Easter to put it all together. Even if he's able to versus Garcia, his best still might not be good enough. Yeah, well, we've been waiting for a long time, and he's been looking average against guys like Javier Fortuna, who was a guy fighting at Javier Fortuna used to fight at featherweight. You know what I'm saying? These are guys in smaller divisions. Dennis Shafikov even is a guy who even moved down to super featherweight. So if he can't look impressive against these guys, and like I said, man, his title run ever since he became a world champion, even the night of when he became a world champion, he's been looking pretty shaky out there. Now he hasn't had one good performance since he's been a champion, and he's been a champ for at least now since 2015. Be March Boxing, leave your thoughts and comments. Good luck, set shot coming through, and I agree 100% with you. Robert Easter might fight the best fight of his life, but I don't think he can match up to anything that Mikey Garcia gonna bring to the table. Be March Boxing, I'm out of here. One.